Yesterday Sayadaw declared to all devotees that he was going to talk about during this discourse the path to liberation and its obstacles. However, he wants to say something before he comes to this main topic. When one is called by certain names, if one does not understand the meaning of the name, then it is not appropriate. For instance, those of you who have come here to practice, both monks and lay people, are called yogis. Although you are by name yogis, you have to understand the implied meaning of yogis. For instance, what is a yogi? What are the qualities that he or she should possess? And the benefits of being a yogi. So if somebody asks these questions, you should be able to answer them right away. So before he starts this main topic, main discourse on the path to liberation and its obstacles, he would like to explain the three questions and answers, namely, what is a yogi, and what are yogi's essential qualities, and what are the benefits of being a yogi, both from the theoretical and practical aspects. So treat, there are yogis who have already practiced in the past, as much as there are yogis who have just come here to practice. They're new yogis. Now if they are given this talk about yogi, they might have heard about this subject, so they can, by listening again, they will be able to understand it clearer, more clear. And those who have not understood also, who have not listened also, will be able to listen to this or understand this subject of yogi. Understanding that this is a high-level practice, they will be inspired and encouraged if they hear about this subject of yogi. To be simply given, as given in the text, it is given as Bhavanaya Yauda Payuta Daya Yogi. This means that Bhavanaya means practicing the high-level discipline in order to cultivate the mind and knowledge. In this discipline, if one practices with the application of initial energy, and then stepped up energy, and then the progressive energy to reach the goal, this is a yogi. So yogi is the one who is able to apply these three stages of energy in the practice to cultivate the mind and insight. Yogi can be divided into two words, namely yoga and E. Yoga means exerting energy in the three stages, initial energy, the stepped up energy, and progressive energy. In other words, it's Lona Virya, exerting heroic energy, exerting one's energy with courage at the risk of one's body and life. This is yogi. The one who possesses this courage, this courageous effort at the risk of one's body and life, that is a yogi. Of course, in the beginning, he or she will not be in possession of such energy. But later with the practice, which is given by the expression Yauda Payuta Daya. Yauda means initial effort or energy, and Payuta Daya, stepped up energy and progressive energy. three stages of energy. Because of the exertion of the three stages of energy, one is called yogi. So yogi is the one who is able to exert energy in the practice with courage. So this answers the question, what is a yogi? And also, because the qualities in the form of virya have been mentioned, this also answers the second question, what are the qualities that a yogi must possess? Yogi must possess the three forms of energy, or three stages of energy: initial, stepped up energy, and progressive energy. So as for the motive, or as for the benefit and objective, it is given by the expression bhavanaya. That means the ennobling one's mind, or purifying one's mind, and cultivate knowledge to see things in their true nature. So the objective of possessing these three qualities, namely the three kinds of virya, is to ennoble one's mind, purify one's mind, and cultivate knowledge, insight, to see things in their true nature. That is the benefit or the motive or objective. Because one possesses, or the yogi possesses these qualities, that is the quality of the exertion of energy, the aim and objective or the benefit is the cultivation of the mind and knowledge. So when one is given this benefit, the objective also can be revealed, can be understood at the same time. So the reason for possessing these three stages of energy is to realize this objective. So this answers the question, what is the benefit, or what are the benefits of a yogi, of being a yogi? Those of you who have come to this retreat to undertake this meditation have come with these objectives. Objective is none other than to purify one's mind and cultivate knowledge, seeing things in their true nature. But in order to realize this benefit, one cannot get for nothing. One has got to possess three stages of energy, practicing at the risk of one's body and life with courageous effort. So one must try to possess these kinds of energy. In the beginning, of course, one will not be able to exert this kind of energy. So one cannot be called a real yogi. One is a nominal yogi, or yogi by name, not yet a real yogi. Only when one exerts the three stages of energy, initial energy, and the stepped up energy, and the progressive energy. As much as one exerts these kinds of energy, one is bound to possess these energies, these qualities, and then one will be transformed from nominal yogi to the real one. If one does not have this kind of energy, one has got to exert in order to apply the initial effort, and then stepped up energy, and then the progressive energy to reach the goal. These are the causes, and if the causes are fulfilled, the benefit is bhavana, that is the cultivation of mental powers and the power of knowledge, so that one's conduct, one's behaviors will become blameless, purified, cultivated, gentle, affable, and lovable. These are praiseworthy qualities which should be possessed by every human being. So one should cherish these benefits. So all one has got to do is to fulfill these causes in order to reap the benefits. That is, exert the three types of energy. So that's why you're all exhorted, you're all urged and exhorted to apply these three types of energies. All events, or every event, is not costless. Every benefit has its own causes or reasons. If one wishes to reap the benefit, one has got to fulfill these causes. However, if one is not prepared to fulfill the causes, then one will not be able to reap the benefits of the practice. The Buddha even cannot help, neither can his teachings, nor the teachers, the meditation teachers. Just like a patient who is under treatment by a physician, the physician prescribes certain medicines, and also the instructions what to abstain and what to observe. However, if the patient does not listen to or does not follow the instructions of the physician, the disease will not be cured. For instance, if he or she is not taking the medicines regularly in accordance with the dosage form, and to abstain from what should be abstained and things like that, he or she will not be cured of the disease. So if one is not cured of the disease, it is not the fault of the medicine nor the fault of the teacher. Therefore, if one wishes to be cured of the disease, one has got to take the medicines regularly in accordance with the prescriptions or instructions by the physician, abstaining from unwholesome things and observe or take wholesome things as given in the instructions. In a sense, if just reading the directions on the label is not enough to cure the disease, one must take the medicines as given in the instructions regularly, and in the correct dosage form, will one be cured of the disease. Therefore, one has got to fulfill the causes in order to realize the benefits. So far we have this theoretical aspect of yogi, qualities of the yogi and the goal benefits of the practice. So let us look at it from the practical aspects. As yogi is given as yoga, which means striving in the three stages of energy. The first energy is arambha dhatu, that is initial energy. Second one is nikama dhatu, stepped up energy, in order to overcome sluggishness or laziness. Third is parakama dhatu, the progressive energy, in order to reach the goal. As for the first energy, namely arambha dhatu, initial energy, the yogis have come here in order to cultivate their mind and knowledge as noble objectives. And they have taken the vows of refuge in the 3 gems. They have taken the vows of precepts, taking 8 precepts. And as given by the meaning of yogi, they are to undertake this practice to strive to undertake this practice. So they are acting in accordance with instructions and they initiate the energy, starts to exert the energy. Let us say they sit in accordance with the instructions properly, in the correct posture, focusing their attention on the abdomen, where the rising and falling are to take place. Now you exert energy in order to direct your noting mind towards the rising object, so that the noting mind strikes the rising object with pinpoint precision. When falling takes place also, they exert energy in order to direct the noting mind towards this object or observation, namely falling in this case, so as to strike this noting mind on the object, falling object, with pinpoint precision. So every time rising and falling takes place, they exert this kind of energy in order to direct their noting mind towards these objects of observation. When they are doing walking meditation, lifting, moving and placing, noting, lifting and moving, in order to note lifting, in order to note moving, in order to note pleasing. They exert energy in order to direct their noting mind towards lifting, moving, and pleasing. And the same thing goes with other objects of observation as they arise. In this way, they exert energy, the driving force, in order to direct the noting mind towards this object of observation. So previously, in the beginning, they do not possess this kind of exertion. Later, with concerned effort, they come to possess this kind of energy. It is just like sowing a seed in the field, in the fertile ground. So also, you are said to be sowing the seed of energy in this case. So this application of initial energy is known as arambha dhatu. When you are sowing the seed in a fertile ground, a new field, that seed has to be a selected one, a viable one. That means which can give rise to a plant, which can grow into a plant, which should give benefits. If the seed is not viable, then it will not give rise to a plant. There will be no plant, and there will be no benefit out of the seed. Even if the seed is viable, if it is not properly nurtured, looked after, safeguarded, then also one will not be able to realize the benefit as one thought, one has thought before. So also, when you are applying this initial energy, it has to be like a viable seed, choosing a viable seed, a good seed. And this viable seed, just like a viable seed, this virya also should be a viable virya, properly selected, properly exerted energy, with firm conviction, by way of benefits, believing, having faith and confidence in the benefits of the practice. There are 7 benefits of the way of mindfulness, beginning with the purity of mind. So one should have this firm conviction, saddha, faith and confidence in the benefits of the practice. If one has strong conviction, faith and confidence, saddha, one is bound to exert, one is bound to possess strong zeal in order to undertake the practice. So if one has these 2 mental powers, namely saddha and chanda, that is faith and confidence, and zeal, strong desire, one is bound to initiate this first stage of energy, like choosing the viable seed. So it becomes necessary to choose or to exert this initial energy with strong conviction. And also, if once one has started this exertion of energy, one must keep it up, maintain it, sustain it, nurture it, in order to realize the benefit of this energy, like sowing a viable seed, nurturing it, safeguarding it, looking after it, and so on, in order to get the benefit of the seed. After one has sown the seed, one will not leave it as such. One will nurture the seed, and if the seed grows into a sapling, one will nurture the sapling by putting up fences around the plant or plants, and if necessary, water the plant in the right proportions, and work the soil so that the roots can move freely by digging and working the soil. If necessary, one applies fertilizers and prevent the insects from attacking the plants. And if the insects are already there, one should take certain measures in order to remove these insects from the plants. So if one nurtures in this way all the time, the sapling will grow, develop, and until it will bear fruit and so on. So also, once you have started this initial energy, after exertion, you try to nurture this, develop this by getting or taking or receiving instructions from the teachers, keeping it alive until one is able to realize the benefits of the initial energy in the form of the development of mental powers and power of knowledge. Then one is bound to realize the peace as desired. The initial energy, the nurturing of initial energy is compared to the fencing of the sapling. This means that in the practice one takes the vows of precepts and maintain it, sustain it, not to break them. This is like fencing, or setting up a fence or fences around the sapling. Watering plants means paying attention to the talks and instructions given by the teachers, so that one will be able to absorb them. And walking the soil is like reporting the observations, or one's observation of the practice, to the teachers, to the meditation teachers for guidance. That the reporting is in three parts, namely what arises and whether you know it or not, and what you know of it. Short in a way that the reporting is short to the point, not unnecessarily long. So they are given, divided into three parts. That is the arising object. Our object arises on its own. Then what you do with this object, you note it, you apply mindfulness, sustain mindfulness on this object, and then when you're noting, what you know of it, what are the observations, what are the characteristics, or what are the qualities of this object that you observe. So these are the three parts that you report to the teachers, so that teachers will be able to give necessary guidance. Now when we say removing the insects or preventing the insects from attacking the plants, means that once you have applied the initial energy, you nurture it so that it will be advanced to the stepped up energy and to the progressive energy, and to realize the goal. So one has got to maintain it, sustain it in order to develop this energy, so that kilesa, insects such as the raga, dosa, craving, aversion, will not arise in the yogi stream of consciousness. That's why it is said that the virya is nurtured, the energy is nurtured, maintained, safeguarded, and developed. What, as has been said earlier, that one notes every arising object, so that one strikes one noting mind on the arising object with pinpoint precision. While one is practicing, in the course of the practice, there can arise sluggishness in the practice, which can lead to sloth and torpor, which is the nearest enemy of the yogis. They tend to undermine the practice, such as not wishing to undertake this kind of practice, which is a high-level discipline. And even if one starts to undertake this high-level discipline, one will not do it energetically. So this is sluggishness. At times, in the course of the practice, there may be physical pain and unbearable sensations may arise because one has been conditioned to comfortable life. One acts like a coward. One cannot face with courage these unbearable sensations. So this is lack of courage, cowardness. Sometimes one will not wish to undertake the practice at all. One becomes sluggish, lazy, and even if one undertakes the practice, one is not as energetic as one should be. Or at times when one faces the difficult situations like painful sensations and sluggishness, one will not be able to overcome these kinds of unbearable or undesirable, undermining elements. So, in order to overcome these situations, the initial energy is not strong enough. It is still weak. So one has got to boost up this energy, step up this energy in order to overcome these difficult situations such as sluggishness, sloth and torpor, and these unbearable physical sensations. So it becomes necessary to apply the stepped up energy. Because one has started the initial energy, one is a yogi in that sense. Because one steps up one's energy to the second stage of energy, if one is able to do that, then one can also be yogi from that perspective. So one is a real yogi at this stage. Just with the exhaustion of second type of energy is not powerful enough to realize the goal of the path and fruition knowledge of the Noble Ones. This should be the minimum goal that one should set in the practice. So, in order to reach the goal, one has got to exert the third type of energy. This is namely the progressive energy in order to realize the goal. If one is able to do that successfully, then one becomes a yogi, a real yogi who possesses the three types of energies. Until one is able to realize the maturity of the practice and become a real devoted or dedicated yogi. Because one is possessing the three stages of energy, the initial energy and the stepped up energy in order to overcome sluggishness and painful sensations, unbearable sensations, and a third type of energy in order to realize the goal. This makes a real dedicated yogi. So the benefits are the purity of the mind. If one applies this kind of energy for one moment, one will realize the purity of the mind for one moment. If one is able to practice or sustain sati, samadhi, and samadhi, one is able to be mindful and deepen the concentration. One is bound to be fulfilled with the knowledge. So this is the answer to the questions: what is a yogi, and what are the qualities that a yogi should possess, and what are the benefits of being a yogi who possesses these qualities. So therefore, Sarah urges that you be able to exert these three stages of energy: the initial energy, the stepped up energy, in order to overcome sluggishness, and the progressive energy to realize the goal, so that you will not only be a nominal yogi, but will become a real dedicated yogi, and so that by the practice you'll be able to be fulfilled with the cultivation of mind and knowledge. That's all for today.